and welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. Okay, so the gentleman sitting next to me, I probably could take the whole show and talk about, from the time I probably met him, which was about 15 years ago, there's not enough room in anybody's show to talk about all the things that he's accomplished. And for me, he is the entrepreneur's entrepreneur. And you'll get that as we move further along in this interview. I want to introduce with me is Frank McKinney.
Wayne,
what's up?
We've known each other forever, and this is an honor to be here for the very first time.
You
have never had me on your show.
No. Because, I'll tell you why. Because when I first filmed you 15 or 17 years ago, I was still, internet radio, internet TV was nothing. It was nothing.
No, you put it on the map.
Okay, and we worked hard to get to where we're at. But I will tell you that when I filmed you on someone else's event, I was really impressed to listen to where you came from, what you did, and the risks you took to get there. And I appreciate that because God knows I took a ton of risks, probably still do. It's the craziness in me. But let's talk about what you did then that kind of got to me. And when we'll get to your books, you actually started renovating homes and reselling them? Is that?
So yeah, I started by buying crack houses.
Okay.
Not cracked foundation, crack cocaine
right.
houses, and I would renovate them and I would flip them. Now, flip was a word used in gymnastics.
Right.
It wasn't even used in real estate when I started. For 5 years, I didn't do a house worth more than $100,000. Most people don't know that. They think of all these mansions I've done on the ocean. I did not buy, renovate, or sell a house worth more than $100,000 for 5 years.
Wow. Okay. At some point in time, so you made money.
Yeah,
obviously.
We were making about $25,000 a house.
Okay. But you went from that, did you ever find a middle ground, or did you just jump to that $2 million house?
No, listen, there's two segments of the real estate marketplace that are recession-proof. The first-time home buyer, which is what I was dealing with those $100,000 houses, and the ultra-wealthy. It goes back to the Roman era. So I jumped from a $100,000 house, and in 1992, we bought and renovated and sold a house on the ocean. It looked like a crack house, Wayne. It had 2 weeks of uncollected newspaper and 2 months of uncut grass, broken screens, broken windows, but it was on the ocean.
Right.
So I bought that for $775,000. And the only difference, by the way, was 10. The difference between $75,000 and $750 is 10.
Yeah.
Malcolm Gladwell, great author, in his book Blink, says you have to put in 10,000 hours to become an expert at anything in life. Obviously, you put in 10,000 hours in your broadcasting. 10,000 hours is 5 years. So I look back and I say, wow, for 5 years I became an expert at the craft of real estate. And then jumping to $2 million was nothing more than exercising my risk tolerance.
Yes, but you bought the property, renovated it without a buyer.
Always. I'm a real estate artist.
Okay.
Van Gogh, Renoir, Monet. I take the canvas, which is called the Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
Sun-drenched canvas. I design, build, sell on speculation. We've done 44 projects on the ocean front in Palm Beach County since that first one in 92, with an average selling price of $14 million. I'm an artist. I take the raw clay, the raw mold, which is just the concrete and the beautiful stuff we put in the house, and build it, and like the Field of Dreams, they'll come.
Okay, but that was the way you were able to get to a point in your life to do the things that you wanted to do, which was help others. Because you have that helping heart, you have the helping energy. So you make this money, where most people would be just pocketing it and putting it under a mattress. You took a good portion of it and decided to help others. In what fashion did you go?
Well, again, this isn't a religious program, but I'm a Christian, and there's a passage in the Bible that says, from Luke chapter 12, verse 48, to whom much is entrusted, much is required. To whom much is given, much is expected. 1.8 GPA out of high school, 4 high schools in 4 years, 7 stints in juvenile detention, a one-way plane ticket out of Indiana when I was 18 with a $50 bill. So God blessed me with this ability with my professional highest calling, which is these beautiful houses. I provide housing to the world's most wealthy who really don't even need another house because they have houses all over the world. What about those living in Haiti, which is where we operate our Caring House Project Foundation, who have no house? Actually, what they're living in is a mud hut covered with palm fronds for a roof. So for the last 20 years, Wayne, we have been building self-sustaining villages in Haiti that combine housing, food, renewable food, clean drinking water, a church, school, clinic, community center, all in about an 8 to 10 acre piece of land where for 300 grand, I can build a whole village. For a family, for a group of about 500 people. I can build one house in Haiti for $4,800.
Wow.
Concrete.
But the thing is, the numbers are irrelevant. It's the blessings that you're giving people and the giving back, for me, as I see it, that matters more than anything. Because I believe that everybody's here for a mission. I talk about in my views, no, I was molested as a kid, and I'm on a crisis line, and I talk people off the ledge many, many times because it's my mission. I work for an organization that gives cars to single moms. Now, I didn't grow up with a single mom. I had a family, but I know so many that have, including my first wife, because she got sick, things happened and whatever, and she raised my amazing daughter basically on her own. So my thought is you have to give back, and it's, for me, giving back is more pleasurable than getting. Okay? So we were talking before we got on the air of people I dealt with, and I was blessed to have some people who I've watched grow into more than they ever thought they would be.
Sure.
Which is wonderful. Okay, so you do all this stuff. Now, because of who you are, obviously it wasn't enough, so you decided to write. Or were you writing first?
No, I've been writing. This is my 7th book. My first book came out 20 years ago. So I mentioned a 1.8 GPA in high school. If it wasn't for my creative writing grade, which was an A, and my math grade, because I knew I was going to have to count money someday, so I was good at math, I would have had a 0.00. But, everyone watching this program and all your programs, you have a professional highest calling, which is a gift God gives you to put food on the table and a little money in the bank. Mine was real estate artistry, building houses on speculation, and now my 7th book. But all of my books fund our operations in Haiti. I make no money from the sale of my books. One sale of my new book, Aspire, provides 200 meals in our orphanage. One book, 200 meals, 2-part protein, 1-part carbohydrate.
Okay.
Because, let me say, if I could, I won't pick this up because this is the microphone, but something looking like that, hamburger in Haiti, the children are eating dirt flavored with bouillon and lemon juice. Dirt flavored with bouillon and lemon juice. When we finish a village, we're providing 200 meals from the sale of one book.
Okay. The blessing is that it's been on the bestseller list, every one of your books.
Not every one of them, but
Okay.
this one has been. I think 5 out of the 7 made it there.
Okay. Yeah. So, which allowed you to give back so much to so many. And I don't know that people understand what that really means, because we live in a world of everybody's looking for a destination instead of the journey. And where I'm not in your bank account, I don't even know your Beacon score or your FICO score, but I know that you probably could take it a little easier now in your life. You're probably at a point where financially you're set. But you still take on these responsibilities, and you still care about others. And suffice to say, you're here because I was impressed 15 or 18 years ago when I listened to you speak. And I was far from the position I'm in today, obviously. But there are a few people in my life that have taught me things that seem so common sense and so simple. And I think most of us look over, we jump over a dollar to get to a penny. When I was struggling, my ex had married a race car driver. He had a lot of money. And he told me, Wayne, here's the way you got to look at it. We're the same. You make $100 and spend $125. I make $125,000 and I make $100,000 and spend $125,000. As long as you could pay your bills, you're running a successful business. You just have to look at it a little bit different. And that stuck in my mind. And when I listened to you, obviously, your treehouse stuck in my mind. So real quick, let's just talk about the treehouse, okay? Tell me the story with the treehouse in the house.
Well, I believe you need to work in an environment that draws out your creativity and ingenuity, because it's creativity and ingenuity that's rewarded in business today.
Okay.
I built my treehouse a little over 20 years ago. Wayne, I hadn't written a book until I built that treehouse. I had not written a single book. I built the treehouse, 7 books in 6 genres. So it draws out my creativity.
How
and my
big is the
ingenuity.
treehouse?
220 square feet.
Okay, I thought it was bigger. Okay, so it's
No, it's tiny. It's got but it's got air conditioning. It's got a little bathroom, toilet, sink, shower, king size bed, and a loft. But it looks right out at the ocean.
Oh wow.
So, and the houses I've designed on the ocean, those beautiful houses you've seen, or if you go to my website that you'll put up later, you can see some of those beautiful houses you've ever seen in the world. Those were designed at that desk in that treehouse.
Wow. Okay, so but you don't live in that treehouse.
Well, it'd be hard to live in 220 square feet. My wife wouldn't be with me anymore.
Okay, so you have a house.
I have a house that's connected to the treehouse by way of a suspension bridge. So my commute to work in the morning is a 40-foot walk from my master bedroom across a suspension bridge, think Swiss Family Robinson,
Right.
to my treehouse.
Okay, so
For 20 years, that's been my commute.
if you guys don't get why I was inspired when I first met Frank, and I was doing someone else's event, so it wasn't my place to per se connect with you or try to take what you had away from what you were doing. But everything happens for a reason. Years go by, and there you are, good old Facebook, talking. Somebody I have posted your book, and I said, "Oh my God, Frank, I have to reconnect with him." And I added you to my Facebook, and I invited you to come on. And I knew it was a ride, and I didn't know if you would come do the ride.
Wayne, I have been waiting for 15 years for the invitation. Yeah, I don't think people. I've been on Oprah twice. I've been on 2020. I've been waiting for your invitation for 15 years. So I'm here.
Okay, I'm blessed to have you here, and I'm blessed to let people know that, like me, you have a journey that you've been on, okay? And that journey is not just about you, your wife, and you have one daughter?
Yes.
And one daughter.
Mm-hmm.
It's about you, your wife, your daughter, and the world.
Right.
And that's just so amazing to me. So I want to go back, and I want to ask you about growing up. But I want to take a break. Let's take a break. All right? Guys, we'll be right back.